Welcome. Today we're going to be explaining the alchemical changes that take place within a human being. Within this realm that we incarnate, this infinite plane, it's like a womb that allows certain alchemical spiritual functions and changes to take place within the human being so that it's prepared for its next stage of its spiritual journey. So here we know that the elements correspond to the various zodiac. For example, Aries is fire, Taurus is earth, Gemini being air. And the other fire sign we have would be Leo, which being the heart. We have Sagittarius in the hips. These are the three fires. And then of course, we hear the term to become a warm-hearted person, or that person is cold-hearted, or this person is hot-headed. Well, hot-headed because Aries would be fire in the head. And Leo, the warmth, the heart, warm-hearted. But some people are cold-hearted. So what does this mean? This means that the polarities and different aspects of the consciousness within our bodies can change its polarity. If we are the kindled flames of the Christ help to warm the heart. Once the heart is warmed and you become a warm-hearted person, you become initiated into the line of the tribe of Judah. And it said Jesus was the line of the tribe of Judah. This is how, you become a warm-hearted person. That's an initiation. If you're a cold-hearted person, then that means that the alchemical aspect of the heart is cold. Now, if you're hot-headed, you may need to cool your mind. So when you're transmuting the energies from the water of Scorpio, where Scorpio rules the sexual organs, then that water cools the brain. So instead of becoming hot-headed, you become cool-headed. So the goal of the Hermetic initiate is to create a subtle change within the being that allows the waters to be evaporated by the fires and creating a cloud or a personal point of consciousness. Samael would have called it the personal point of consciousness rather than the scattered elemental point of consciousness where it's not a fixed point of. It's basically that's referring to someone that hasn't fully comprehended the witness aspect within themselves. They still think that they're just the physical body or the mind. Or the witness watches the mind. The mind is not the witness. The witness watches the mind. So here in Alvin Boyd Kuhn's, the sea is your red, the red blood is your sea. What is it called? Sorry about that. The red sea is your blood. An ocean on fire. It is next to inconceivable how blind the intellect of a world has been, how obtuse to a reality that the allegory pressed upon it in the plainest terms. So close to us is this red sea, over whose storm-tossed billows we must swim to reach a happier land, that it could not be brought any closer to us. Closer is he than breathing, nearer than hands and feet, sang the poet Tennyson, of the divine self within us. And just as close to us is this very red sea of life, for far down into the depth of an actual body of water, incarnation has plunged these souls of ours that are as oblivious of the watery element they swim in as they are of the air they breathe. So true is this, both in allegory and as a fact, that ancient poetic genius typified the soul as a great fish swimming about in the sea, the soul of life immersed in the water. So our souls, and similar to fish swimming in water, our souls are swimming in the ether, and we're not even aware of the divine spirit or the invisible realm that is all around us. This physical world is the physical projection of that realm. And this world that we live in is created in a way that we go through different initiations or soul graduations or soul transformations that allow the inner alchemical fire to start warming the heart of Leo, cooling the mind of Aries, of Mars, and transmuting the waters of Scorpio, with the fires of Sagittarius under Scorpio, the fire under the water, and the fire of Purusha, the spirit, hovers over the waters in the beginning of Genesis. And the spirit hovered over the waters. And when it goes into the water, it makes a hiss, a hissing noise. Shh. And that fire turns into the vapor. And this is the same as Purusha, the spirit, projecting a ray and impregnating Prakriti, or the divine feminine aspect, the womb or the matrix that creates all the individualized beings, or fire sparks. But we're not just fire sparks. We're fire water. There's the water aspects, the soul, the fire is the spirit, and the fire saves the soul, evaporates it, turns it into a mist, pulls it from its ice cube form or its solid form and vaporizes it into its translucent form. So the goal of this existence, unlike what the nihilists say, that there's no purpose to anything, that nothing makes sense, and that we all came from nothing, the truth is we're all here to create a beautiful alchemical change in our hearts so that we have a crystallized consciousness. The heart, Lion of the tribe of Judah, our heart becomes warm, our minds become balanced, and the marriage of the sun and moon, or our spirit and matter, take place as we go into the vaporous realms. We leave the ice cube realm behind, and we go to the vapor, then the cloud, then the lightning. It's very important to understand that this alchemical journey takes place, but it has to take place the humans have the ability to put in the conscious will or conscious effort to consciously serve the creator. Like animals can't consciously serve the creator, only humans can. So that puts us in the ability to create these alchemical changes. So we have fire on heaven's earth. Water, however, is not confined solely to earth, but in the forms of vapor, visible as cloud or rain, and invisible as rarefied water vapor, pervades the earth's upper regions. But here we have in the Hebrew concept of the heavens, the idea of heaven as the place where the waters of the upper firmament are associated with fire, sun, or lightning. Hence, to the word for water, mayim, they prefix the great letter of the alphabet, which is the symbol for fire, the letter shin, and this gives the word for heaven, shemayim. This would convey all that range of meaning, which flows from the idea of the original fiery power of the divine mind of Spirit of God, interfusing itself in the essence of water matter to beget the universes. So the fire descends from Kether into the water and creates that vapor. And that vapor is the child, the soul. That's all of us here. And that soul ascends. So we become more subtle. And the higher realities still have physical form, just like when you go to sleep at night, you go to a dream, you see forms, people, beings, rivers, creeks, mountains. But they're a different kind of form, a more subtle reality. Rudolf Steiner talks so much about this. The higher worlds are more subtle, translucent realms that look very similar to this realm. It just this realm is very dense, very crude, like akin to the ice block. And then those realms are like akin to the vapor, the clouds, or the lightning, and even beyond the lightning. So we must ascend Jacob's ladder and become more or less dense as we go through Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. These are the 12 labors of Hercules, and each one relates to a different alchemical process. So calcination, Aries, fire, to burn up all the impurities. Coagulation, fixation, dissolution, digestion in the area of Leo and Virgo, the stomach. Finally, distillation of the spinal column, Libra, the scales. Finally, incineration, the fire of Sagittarius incinerates. Then we ferment. Then multiplication occurs. Projection, we project into that eternal body of light and ascend Jacob's ladder to the higher planes of existence. But we start in these different phases as, life is initiation, but those who went to the mystery schools consciously initiated. So they understood like Aries, Taurus, Gemini would be like the child, then the adolescent, adult, the elder, old age, and then the setting sun to have that resurrection. You could also see it as life, and then judging, that judgment, the scales of Libra, where Ma'at judges your heart against the feather. And then you have the underworld, where you overcome your purgatory, and then you have resurrection in Aries. But instead of being born here again, you'd have the life in the higher realms, the more subtle reality. So we have to become King Arthurs of our round table, or Hercules of the 12 labors, and formulate these 12 so that we can activate the 13th, which is the 13th cranial nerve, or the philosopher's stone, that would have access fully to the Akashic records. It's in the Shastras that 12 years of following the path of purity gives you the proper alchemical initiations for that warm heart, cool-headed nature to be able to have the halo and be able to have access to the logos, which is the word of God. The same logos that would be literally speaking, not literally, the same as like Moses, Joseph, all these people had the word incarnated. They speak the truth. When you have the word incarnated, it's when Da'ath of the tree of life manifests through Tiphereth. So Tiphereth has been fully incarnated within the being, and then you speak from that higher perspective. Until then, we still live in a world of duality of not knowing exactly, we still have to, think left brain, right brain, polarity thinking. Once these are fused together and the proper alchemical processes take place and we regenerate to that level, and overcome all of our karmas. What I mean by karmas is just all the things that cause us to not take place, because this is supposed to take place naturally. This is a natural science. The sun goes through the 12 zodiac and puts on the vestments of the planets. The soul goes through and develops the 12 holy intelligences and activates the 7 forces. Now I know there's the other 3 planets, Kether, Chokmah, Benar, the transcendental, the creator, or like Krishna, Radharani, Jesus, and Mary Magdalene, or like the highest God, Allah, live, the personal aspects of the creator, which emanate the impersonal aspect, which creates that field. And that fire that descends from that realm creates its split self, matter, its polarity opposite, water, matter, matrix, and dives into it, creating bubbles with fire sparks or children. So we're here to gain our individuality. That's what the ancient mysteries of the West teach. In the East, there's a lot of atheism going on where they teach you're losing your individuality, that you'll disappear into nothingness. But in the Western mysteries, and definitely in the true mysteries of the East, we understand that we are actually here to gain these higher egos, our higher individuality manifest, crucifies with the personality and takes the human soul with it, Tiphereth, to Kether. So you incarnate the highest aspect of your being while keeping your individuality. This is a womb, or the place of fermentation where you build the higher bodies. It's not a place of just, randomness or nothingness. So this is what is meant by the statements found in Hindu religious literature, that birth of creation took place or began with the shooting of the cosmic ray of Purusha, eternal spirit, into the womb of Prakriti, or matter, the eternal universal mother. And that eternal universal mother is what we see all around us, all of the beauty, all of the organization. Can we sense the divine mother of Virgo organizing our lives? Think back to our past of how things have worked out so splendidly for us, or if they didn't, the lessons that Saturn taught us, whether they be lessons that Saturn teaches us, or times where our life were organized where like Virgo stepped in and started to help organize certain aspects of our life that led us to certain places or certain people, or able to give us opportunities to give service or help heal others that needed you at that particular moment. When you tap into synchronicity, is by constantly utilizing the pineal gland through constant self-observation. Self-observation means to always be watching and identifying with the eternal witness within. It is so easy to just like completely forget about the witness and just go with the train of thoughts and just completely lose yourself in thoughts and emotions, daydreams. But when you consciously utilize the pineal gland, you should hear a small crackle. You'll begin to hear a crackle as the pine cone begins to develop and envelop. And that's when you know that this process is taking place. And you'll be able to chart your course, because you have to go through this multiple times. There's multiple ascensions, going through calcination, coagulation, fixation, dissolution, digestion. We go into these very much in depth at the academy. We're going to be definitely learning about how to incarnate these 12 apostles or 12 influential forces throughout the years. We're going to learn about how we are going to kickstart our journey through various ways to ignite the fires of the heart, so that the subtle cooking aspect takes place, so that the water of your body becomes vaporized and it forms a subtle form that is fixed, so that when you go to these higher planes of existence, you're not just in a foggy reality of like I would say, like, to be consciously active in the higher planes of existence, like we were when we were kids. We had our inner Joseph activated, which is the imagination faculty. And we were able to just sit down, and if we were a little tired, we could close our eyes and immediately disappear into another reality. And we were able to consciously astral project. And we're able to consciously exist in that universal Purusha spirit of stillness and calmness. But because of this realm and the lessons we learned, we lose some of that over the ages. And when we become adults, we begin to start learning the mysteries. Sagittarius, learning the mysteries so that we can become elders, which would be like basically becoming old, but becoming childlike, mastering the elder knowledge with the childlike Aries. So you're mixing that elder, old, ancient knowledge with that childlike spirit. Because Jesus says you must become as a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. So we have to renew our innocence. The process of alchemy is by going down into the depths of our subconscious. We face the dark night of our soul, and we look at all the terrifying, most animal-based aspects of ourself, and we begin to purify them. There's many, life purifies it on its own. We all have an inner divine mother or inner divine Christ or inner divine angel that guides each one of us. But if you're one of the people that really are into the mysteries and want to become, initiated, then a lot of people join a lot of, they become mystery school initiates, and they learn from the mystery schools, whether it's the East or the West, and they formulate their whole lives around these changes that take place. They become philosophers or magicians or yogis. But the natural, if that's not for you and you're just a regular, the regular person is one of the most divine archetypes of the entire thing, because it's God's most blessed creation. Just a regular person becoming self-conscious, charitable, serving the creator, and becoming conscious love. To develop conscious love is to warm the heart, activating the tribe of Judah. So you could already be initiated into the tribe of Judah and not even know about this. But if you're, mystery school initiates always want to, live their life and constantly, that's what we just are pulled to that. We just want to spend our whole lives learning the mysteries of the soul, because there's that urgency, we are in a physical body that's mortal, and there is not endless amount of time in this particular body. And we got to be sure and conscious of what exactly we're taking with us when we leave, and definitely nothing material. So that'll be it for today, everyone. Thank you.